Hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to the Flight Sim world. This is Viperstrike 95 Flight Sim, and we're back. That's right, guys. We're back with our around the world trip this time. Day number 2 of our streams here. We're back at Palm Beach International, just right outside of West Palm Beach and Palm Beach itself. And today we're going to be here with visiting our first country of the trip. That's right, guys. We're heading to the Bahamas. So, yes, Viperstrike's wearing a Bahamas t-shirt about the Bahamas. So, cruising the Bahamas is what we are going to. So, yeah, guys, we're going to be doing some pretty nice flying. This group flight will be taking place through multiple destinations. We've got 4 legs to take care of today. So before we get started, I want to say hello to everyone in the chat. We have Super Typhon. Good to see you in Quart. You guys are more than welcome to come here. Thanks for coming. So we're going to go ahead and talk about our flight plan. If you want to know the flight plan, exclamation point route, and you get this. We're going to go ahead and show off the nav map for a bit. Ah, there's. Make it nice and big for you guys. All right. So we'll start here at Palm Beach International. We'll fly over Palm Beach. We're going to climb up to around 5,000 feet. We're going to climb around 5,000 feet, and we're going to make our way across the city, and we'll make our way over to the island of Grand Bahama. We'll be flying over the Freetown port, and go from Freeport, and we'll make our way over to Grand Bahama International at Mike Yankee Golf Foxtrot. Then from there, we'll be making another leg across the island of Grand Bahama. So we'll fly around the coast and then drop over this little harbor and make our way over to Marsh Harbor Airport. Fly over Marsh Harbor a bit, then land here at Mike Yankee Alpha Mike. And finally, for the longest leg of the trip, we'll head south through Marsh Harbor, through the Abaco Islands, go through Abaco National Park, hop over into this area, and go across this area right here until our final stop at Rock Sound International, Mike Yankee Echo Romeo. And that will conclude today's trip. And part 2 will cover the rest of it, which is going to be Exuma, Andros Island, and of course, Nassau. So, should be a really, really nice trip to the Bahamas. We'll get to lower altitudes as soon as we get there as well. So, the plane we're taking here today is going to be the Just Flight Piper Turbo Aero 3 from Just Flight. We are definitely taking that today because I want something a little bit quicker to go around 150, 160 knots. So I think the Turbo Aero would be perfect for the role. The Turbo Aero 3 is part of the Piper Aero family of planes, which is one of the most successful GA planes ever built. The Aero family of planes, there's over 32,000 Aeros have been built since it originally came into existence in 1960. And there are many different variations of the Aero. The Turbo Aero 3 is powered by a 200 horsepower Continental turbocharged engine, and it can go to a speed of around 170 knots. So, very capable plane, and I really wanted to pick it because you're sitting here with Whitehorse. Oh, Quartz. One interesting fact about Whitehorse International that a lot of people don't know, one of the weirdest flights, transatlantic flights, occurs with Whitehorse in Frankfurt. It's flown by Condor Airlines, and they fly to Whitehorse from Frankfurt. Which is a very random route. You wouldn't believe it, but it's actually true. So let's get in the cockpit and get this thing working. If you guys want to join in, we're on the Southeast Asian server, exclamation.info. We're in Southeast Asia. And we're going to be making our way We're going to make our way across. Oh, yeah, that's a long haul. I did that flight, by the way. For FS Hub, I did that flight. Yeah, it is a long, long haul. That is indeed a long, long haul. Pretty easy to start. Oh, yeah, a good payware would be nice for the airport. Um, doing something wrong? Oh, oh, there it is. We got that. Oh, I still got the talks. Find down the chalks. Jetstream at 270 and wonder if I can fly over 350. I think you could. So we're gonna take off from Palm Beach. Our heading, I'm gonna go ahead and set our autopilot heading to 140. Hey, we got Ray from Angry One Horn. Angry, good to see you. You came here at a good time, my dude. Angry One Horn and viewers, good to see you. This is Viperstrike 95 Flight Sim, and we're here to do our second part of our around the world trip. We're now checking out the Bahamas today. So thank you guys so much. And we got Splasher6 here with us too, and Tabletop Android. Good to see all you guys here. Shoutouts for all three of those guys. So Angry One Horn, I hope you had an amazing stream, my dude. Where'd you guys end up going today on your stream? Oh yeah, it's a Piper P-28 Aero 3, Turbo Aero 3. Turbo Aero 3, that's where we're flying today. Tabletop. Hey, and more Cowbell Cody, good to have you here too. Great having all you guys here this morning. We're gonna take off here. We're gonna blast through this speed pretty high. But yeah, great to have all you guys here. Wonderful having you guys here as always. So we're heading to our first stop here at Grand Bahama International. It's gonna be our first leg for today. Here. Go ahead and do this. Autopilot on. Heading switch on. Hey, oh, you're landing from Twin Falls from Salt Lake. Ah, nice. In the Caravan. Oh, that's cool. So, Salt Lake City to Twin Falls, Idaho, I believe. I presume. Very cool, my dude. Very, very. Oh, your analog caravan is taken up, so you had to take the 207. No, oh, that stinks, Angry One Horn. But at least with the 207, at least you still got to complete the flight, so it could have been much, much worse. This here is Palm Beach. This morning's been absolute. I took off early in the sunrise. Thought this would be a really, really nice way to kick off the flight. Here from beautiful Palm Beach. So guys, if you're interested, I got my Discord set up. If you guys want to get caught along my streams, I stream 3 days a week. I stream on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays here on Twitch. On Wednesdays are my virtual airline streams. And on Fridays and Sundays, it would now be the around the world trip to all the countries. So here's Palm Beach. So great to have you guys here. And Sleeveless is here too. Good to have you here as well. Yeah. It works because the scheduled takeoff's 45 minutes after my stream starts. Gotcha. So yeah, if you guys are here for the first time, I'm Viperstrike 95. I've been streaming here since 2021. And I'm soon going to reach my 3rd year anniversary of streaming stuff in next May. So got lots of really cool stuff. So guys, we're here to learn about the Bahamas today. I'm wearing a Bahamas t-shirt, so I came for the thing. So let's go and talk about them for a bit. The beautiful Bahamas. What do we want to know about them? Well, they're an island country in the Lukian archipelago of the West Indies. It contains 97% of its land area and 80% of its population. There are more than 3,000 islands, cays, and inslets in the Atlantic Ocean. And the Bahamas are located north of Cuba, northwest land of Hispaniola, and the Turks and Caicos Islands, as well as southeast of Florida and the Keys. The capital largest city is Nassau, and the territory is encompassing around 470 square kilometers of ocean space. We're going to stop at 4,100 feet. Definitely a really cool area. Also, the Bahamas used to be a British Royal Crown in 1718 when the British clamped down on piracy and stuff. However, nowadays, the Bahamas is actually one of the richest areas in the Americas. In fact, in terms of GDP per capita, it's the 3rd largest GDP per capita in the Americas, just after the US and Canada. And a lot of its economy is based off tourism, and offshore finance is a big part of their economy. So I've been to the Bahamas many, many times in real life. I've been to many places in the Bahamas. I've been to many of them. So I've been to quite a few areas in the Bahamas. I've been to I went to a few private islands owned by some of the cruise line ships, but I also checked out the capital city of Nassau as well during my most recent trip. We went to Nassau. And I really enjoyed I've always enjoyed my time at the Bahamas. So definitely a great bunch of islands to check out and visit. So definitely really cool. Let's learn about the Bahamas history, because it's actually a very interesting one. So before the European powers came around, the first inhabitants of the Bahamas were actually the Taino people, who moved from the southern islands of Hispaniola and Cuba around the 800 to 1000 AD, and they migrated there from South America. They became known as the Lukian people, and around 30,000 people inhabited the Bahamas at the time of Columbus's arrival in 1492. And then the Spanish actually arrived here. In fact, what many people believe the first landfall might actually be in the Bahamas, on the island of San Salvador. Now, it's obviously there's a consistency of where he landed in the Bahamas, but yes, Christopher Columbus did land on the island, which is pretty cool. Which is pretty interesting learning. It actually landed here in the Bahamas. On the landfall, Columbus made first contact with the native peoples and exchanged goods, claiming the islands for the Crown of Castile. before exploring the larger islands of the Grand Antilles. And then, obviously, the Treaty of Tordesillas divided the territories between Castile and Portugal, placing the Bahamas within Spanish sphere. And the Spanish did exploit the native people. Many of them were enslaved and sent to the bigger island of Hispaniola, and the slaves suffered hard conditions and disease. So a lot of the population of the natives lost their lives. Then it actually then became part of England's domain. The English always had a desire to take the Bahamas, even as early as 1629. However, the first English settlers didn't arrive on the Bahamas until 1648. They were known as the Eleutherian Adventurers, led by William Say, and they migrated from Bermuda for greater religious freedom. And then they also settled the island of New Providence, which is where Nassau's from. And King Charles even granted these islands to all of it. However, during the propriety era of the 1870s and stuff, guess what dominated the island during that time? Piracy. Pirates loved making a home in the Bahamas, including a famous pirate named Edward Teach, better known as Blackbeard. The British wanted to put an end to the Pirate Republic and restore earlier government. The British made the Bahamas a crown colony, and they successfully suppressed the piracy. The Spanish tried to attack Nassau, but the British still keep the Bahamas. Funnily enough, the U.S. Navy even tried invading the Bahamas during the American Revolutionary War. And the U.S. Marines actually even occupied the city for which is pretty funny, and that lasted until as well. So yeah, the Americans even took it one time, and I got to visit Fort Montague where they actually held this. And I got to visit Fort Montague, so I got to know about all the pirates and stuff. I got about the history. So, pretty cool stuff. During the 1800s, the Slave Trade Act of 1807 abolished slave trading to British possessions, which included the Bahamas, and the UK pressured other slave trading countries to abolish it and gave the Royal Navy right to intercept slavery ships. And during the 1820s as well, in fact, thousands of Africans liberated from slave ships actually made their way to the Bahamas because of this. And also not just for Native American slaves, but also African Seminoles even escaped their way to the Bahamas. So a lot of slaves and their descendants made their way to the Bahamas. And combine that with Britain's abolishment of slavery, it caused some issues between them and the United States. And the British even once did slave revolt. Then, during the 20th century, the early 20th century was one of hardship thanks to a stagnant economy and widespread poverty. Many eked out through subsistence agriculture and fishing. In 1940, the Duke of Windsor was appointed, who used to be King Edward VIII. He was actually the governor of Bahamas. And he actually was there too. And the Duke of Windsor actually helped combat poverty of the island. Then, after the Second World War, some of the first political parties formed in the Bahamas, including the United Bahaman Party as well, which represented the English-descended Bahamans, and the Progressive Liberal Party representing the black majority. Eventually, the Bahamas gained independence in 1968. And after many years, in 1973, the UK government gave the Bahamas independence on July 10th, 1973. It's still part of the Commonwealth of Nations still to this day. And finally, after independence, they were dominated by Lynn Pidling's PLP, which had a lot of electoral victories. And the economy went through a dramatic growth because of tourism and offshore finance, which continued to grow more and more. And so that is about it for the Bahamas, about its history. So definitely very, very cool to learn about. Hey, Filthy, good to see ya. You're currently outside of you're outside of Dublin. Nice. I did that flight yesterday, Filthy. That was quite a long flight, about 6 hours. Oh yes. I actually just got their scenery yet on Wednesday, Port. The Dublin scenery. Quite nice. It is a quite nice scenery there as well. I still haven't got Dublin landmarks, but I at least got the airport, so that's good. So yeah, that's about the Bahamas in their history. So definitely very interesting history as well. These islands definitely have a lot of importance. Hey, good afternoon, Kingsman. Good to see ya. Good afternoon, my dude. I hope you're doing well. So yeah, during my time at the Bahamas, I still have these pictures on my Discord. I'll take a look at those. I went through quite a few places in the Bahamas. I did went through quite a few areas. I think one time I went to Princess Cays and I did stuff with stingrays. Yeah, the Bahamas are absolutely beautiful though. I recommend you guys check them out. Dubai's awesome too, plus free landmarks. Yeah, the Dubai series nice. I haven't gotten it yet because I don't really fly a lot in Dubai, but if you do lots of flying there, it'd be really nice. Oh, yeah, so I'm gonna have to cancel it. Oh no, that's not good. But yeah, today's gonna be a good day. Honestly, for stuff. Um, outside today, we actually got quite a few people going on this weekend. So this weekend we actually got several streams. Tonight will be Two-Tone Murphy's stream. He'll be on later today. Um, he'll be doing a flight to Las Vegas from Falcon Field, I believe, and he's going to be flying the TBM 850 to Vegas from Falcon Field, and even a visit to Palm Springs. So he'll be doing that later today. Allison Johnson's going to be doing another leg of her Sheila Scott journey from Bali to Darwin, Australia. So that's going to be quite a long flight, about a 7-hour trip, which is nothing new for Allison. She's done lots of flights. Oh yeah, Dubai would be nice for all the long haul stuff. Yeah, Dubai would be really cool. But I mean, outside of Dubai, I mean, Doha and Muscat are also both really good too. Um, I was actually more looking towards Doha and Muscat because they both have amazing freeware sceneries. The freeware sceneries for both of these airports are amazing, particularly Muscat. I was actually blown away by Muscat's scenery. Muscat is so beautiful. The freeware scenery for that airport is top notch. It's beyond most payware. It's that good. Um, Yeah, I do agree. I would like to see the Middle East team to get a hub next. I mean, that's a great place for long haul stuff. The thing I don't like about Dubai is not everyone's gonna have the freeware scenery for the sim because um unless you have premium deluxe edition, you can't really get Dubai. The other reason that it may not be as good for us is because there have been a lot of other virtual airlines calling Dubai a hub and FS hub. There's a lot of other virtual airlines there, and I would much rather pick one of the other hubs that are considerably less busy, but we could still make a great use out of for our airline. So that's just what I'm thinking. If we end up picking the Middle East, it'd be either Doha or Muscat, because Dubai has already a lot of BAs, and I'd rather pick somewhere a bit less traffic, but still have plenty of flights and stuff. So if we end up picking that, that's probably one. It's definitely got some beautiful scenery here as well. So I do want to talk about one more thing on this leg, and it's about the geography of the Bahamas. So the Bahamas geographically are very interesting. You see, the Bahamas, there are a lot of islands in the island chain. There's around 700 islands in the Bahamas, but only 30 and 40 between 30 and 40 are inhabited. Geographically, the largest island is actually Andros, which we will be visiting on Sunday. Um, but the one we're visiting is the island of Grand Bahamas, where we're visiting first. Um, the total size of the Bahamas is around 13,000 square kilometers. However, but due to its many widespread islands, the EEZ is actually among the largest. It's around just below top 40 at around 654 square kilometers. But much of the land here in the Bahamas is either rocky or mangrove swamp, and of course there's tons of coral reefs here as well. And much of the islands in the Bahamas are also very flat, with ridges that don't even rise up to 6 feet. The highest point in the Bahamas is Mount Alverna, and that is actually at 210 feet. Yeah, that's short, very very short. And that's also referenced in its climate too, because the Bahamas climate is actually a tropical savanna climate, and with a hot wet season and warm dry season. The low latitude, warm tropical Gulf Stream, and low elevation give the Bahamas a warm and winterless climate, which made it very popular for lots of tourists, particularly in the winter. The hottest is usually in the summertime, which can get to around 82 degrees at Nassau on average in the summer. And of course, tropical storms and hurricanes do occasionally impact the Bahamas, mainly Hurricane Andrew and Floyd in the 90s, and most recently Hurricane Dorian. So that's a little bit about the climate of the Bahamas. I'm going to go ahead and drop down a bit. We're going to go ahead and turn off altitude hold. I'm going to go ahead. We're going to go ahead and descend. We're going to go, we're not far off from the first stop of our trip. And that is Freeport. We're going to talk about that very shortly. So grab that. Ah, here she goes. So yeah, before we get started with the notes, I hope you guys are enjoying the stream. If you guys are liking the stream and enjoying the content, and you haven't followed the channel yet, smash that follow button and do check out the Discord. I post here all my stuff on the Discord. If you guys are enjoying this, do let me know. Yeah, it's great having you guys here. I hope you guys are having some really cool stuff this weekend. For me, this weekend, I gotta help my dad tomorrow with some stuff around the house. Tomorrow, and then of course Sunday we have the final stream about the Bahamas. So we'll be doing the final part of the Bahamas stream. So that will be on Sunday. My plan here is after we get done with the Bahamas, the next destination would be I'm planning on doing an ATR 42 flight from Nassau to Key West, and then Key West over to Havana. And we can prepare to talk about Cuba for a bit. So I think that's good. It's going to be planned for the around the world trip. It's not coming next week, but the week after, and that's because next week there's only going to be one day of streaming because you see in the basement they're going to have a new floor and stuff, and that's going to take all weekend. So we're going to only have one stream next Wednesday. Yeah, we only got one thing. So our next stop's going to be here at Freeport. Freeport is the second largest settlement on the islands after Nassau. It's the largest territory on the island of Grand Bahama. It was actually founded all the way back in August 4th, 1955 by Walls Groves, who is a Virginian financier with lumber interest. He was granted 20,000 acres of pine yard, and he helped grew into becoming the second most populous city with around 26,000 people. Now, the city itself was actually impacted a lot by Hurricane Dorian, with damage that's still being assessed to the island since 2019. It's home to quite a few national parks, including the Rand Nature Center and the Lucayan National Park, with ecological zones as well, including its own cave, too. But the big thing that draws in this is tourism. Usually draws more than 1 million visitors per year, though it has still been diminishing thanks to all the hurricanes that hit this island. And many tourists arrive here in the island on the city due to a lot of cruise ships, which we will be flying over a cruise port on our way there to Grand Bahama International. Some notable natives and residents include Sebastian Bach, who's a resident, Kevin Fox, NBA player Buddy Hield, and high jump world champion Olympian Donald Thomas are some pretty notable people from Freeport. And of course, this area is served by its own international airport, Grand Bahama International, which is the second busiest airport on the island, after Nassau, obviously. Did you know that this airport was actually once privately owned, until the government of the Bahamas purchased it in 2021? It has one runway, which is about 11,000 feet. It is capable of handling the large aircraft in service, and it's close to all the major cities in the East Seaboard. Now, some other features available in the airport include a VOR system, a POPI system, distance remaining markers, GA services, and more. And this airport serves quite a few flights, particularly around domestic destinations like Nassau, Marsh Harbor, South Bimini, but also international flights to Charlotte, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Raleigh, Montreal, Toronto, and most weirdly, a seasonal flight to Milan, Malpensa. Yes, you've heard right. international charter flight from Milan to the Bahamas. Yeah, that's crazy to think about. But it's on a charter service. So yeah, that is about Freeport and Grand Bahama. So here we are, guys. We finally made our way to the Bahamas. So this here is the port. This is the main container port and cruise port of Freeport. So this is where all the cruise ships end up here on Freeport, Bahamas. They end up here. Oh. Get done with the. Wait, let's get ready for that landing, but. This is and here's the airport to Grand Bahamas. But yeah, a lot of these Caribbean stuff is making me really want to eventually for our virtual airline to get the Caribbean, because this is where a lot of ships port and dock, right? I will be true. There we go. So let's go ahead and put the first landing of the day. Welcome to Grand Bahama International. This is our first stop here at Grand Bahama. If you guys want to join along, this is a group flight, by the way. If you guys are more welcome to join along, we'll be flying on Southeast Asia server. Our airport's gonna be Mike Yankee Golf Foxtrot. This is Grand Bahama International. Negative 69, nice. Negative 69, that's the best lane number. Negative 69. This here is Grand Bahama International. We'll stop right here. Well, we made it to our first stop. This here is Grand Bahama International. We're finally here. So that's our first stop, Grand Bahama. If I'm going to stop right here for just a second. If you guys want to join on in, we're on the Southeast Asian server. Here's what you guys can do. @info. Here we are, my dudes. We made our way over here. So, so we're going to be ready to go off to our second leg of the trip. Lowe's Geek, there's quite a few people, but they're already in Miami. So we're going to get ready for our second leg of the trip. We're going to head over to Marsh Harbor. And this. Let's go ahead and get the second leg taken care of. So we're going to climb to around 1,500 feet. We don't really need to get high. This is the Bahamas, after all. We don't need to be... so, hey, Dougal, no worries, my dude. No worries if you can't stay. That's fine. Like I said, life happens, but I appreciate you coming by and saying hello. We're doing really, really well. We're going to make our way across the beautiful Bahamas today. I've been to the Bahamas multiple times in my life. And, I mainly get to the Bahamas through the cruise ships. Because one of the most popular itineraries for a lot of cruise ships is to operate out of Miami or Orlando. Miami, Orlando, Fort Lauderdale, and Tampa. They love to operate those ships to the Bahamas. It's a very popular destination for a lot of the cruise ships. But yeah, no worries. I'll see you later with Murph's channel. Definitely see you later, Dougal. Reduce the power a bit. Yeah, we're gonna stick within 1,000 feet. The Bahamas is not known for being a very hilly place. So we're gonna go on this route for 40 nautical miles. So we're gonna stick around 150. So yeah, guys, I want to ask you guys in the chat, for all you people in the chat, I wonder how many of you guys have actually been to the Bahamas. I know I've been to the Bahamas myself, but I want to ask you in the chat if you guys have been there yourselves. It's just a question for the chat, for you guys want to know. Okay, Typhon says no. Um, so, so. I'm actually going to climb it to around 2,000. Yeah, Grand Bahamas is the northernmost island here, and it's the third largest in the chain, funnily enough. The island's around 530 square miles in area and approximately 95 miles long to the east and 15 miles at the widest point north to south. And a big part of it is been exporter and importers and tourism mainly. Some animals that live up here in this part of the Bahamas include various bat species, including the buffy flower bat, as well as birds like the Bahama woodstar hummingbird and the Bahama swallow. In terms of in marine species, there is the tiger shark. So be careful of those things. And fun enough about tiger sharks is they eat nearly everything in the seafloor. No, seriously, they're an apex predator. They literally eat almost anything. Um, and that includes small fish, jellyfish, mollusk, crustaceans, seabirds, sea snake, marine mammals, dugong, dugong, sea lions, sea turtles, dolphins, other sharks, rays, injured whales, and also they somehow eat terrestrial animals too. In fact, in the stomach contents of a tiger shark, they found horses, goats, sheep, dogs, brown rats. Even flying foxes and bats, and apparently they even eat inedible objects like license plates, oil cans, tires, and baseball. So yeah, they eat everything. So yeah, I want to ask you guys in the chat. I hope you guys are having a great week, and I hope you guys got some really cool plans for the weekend. Because I bet you guys have some really cool stuff planned. So with us is Lowe's Geek, but he's all and Frat Shocks Up, but they're all the way in Florida. So all the way in Florida. All the way there. So in terms of government systems here in the Bahamas, believe it or not, the Bahamas government system is a parliamentary constitutional monarchy. You see, it's part of the Commonwealth of Nations, so that means they have the same traditions as the UK. So the King of the Bahamas currently is King Charles III, with as head of state, represented locally by a Governor General, and political legal traditions follow closely to England in the Westminster system. And the Bahamas is a member of the Commonwealth of Nations and shares its head of state with the other realms of the Commonwealth, which include Australia, New Zealand, and Canada. The Prime Minister is the head of government and the leader of the party with the most seats in the House Assembly. Executive power exercised by the Cabinet, selected by Prime Minister, and draws supporters in the House Assembly. The current Governor General is Cynthia A. Pratt. And the Prime Minister is Philip Davis. Legislative power in the Bahamas is vested in a bicameral parliament, which consists of a 38-member House of Assembly with members elected from a single-member district. As well. Constitutional safeguards include freedom of speech, press, worship, movement, and association. The judiciary is independent of the executive legislature and is based on English law. That's what the government of the Bahamas is like. And the Bahamas has mainly, like the United States, actually has a two-party system, which is currently dominated by the center-left Progressive Liberal Party and the center-right Free National Movement. A handful of other parties have tried, but are unable to win election in Parliament, including the Bahamas Democratic Movement, Bahama Nationalist Party, and the Democratic National Alliance, though there is a growing Republican movement since Elizabeth's death, with a majority now supporting an elected head state. So, that is something to keep an eye. So that is something to keep an eye on with the Bahamas government. But I've been around the Bahamas before, so let me guys show you some stuff, pictures on my Discord. I'll show you the pictures of Nassau of the time we went there next week, but I'll show you some of the pictures during my time at the Bahamas for at least. Let me go ahead and. Okay. There we go. So this was at Princess's private island at Princess Cays. So you see many of the cruise liners, like cruise line companies like Princess and Carnival and Royal Caribbean and Norwegian and even Disney. They all have their own private islands here in the Bahamas. This one here is Princess Cays. Here, this is part of the Bahamas. So This was during my time here. I'll be showing you pictures of Nassau as well. So here's some of the beaches and stuff we went through. This was actually during earlier last year. It was like January 2023. And this was on the cruise ship we went through. This is Regal Princess. So here's our ship. I mean, look at the water. I mean, look how amazing the water is here in the Bahamas. It is so pretty. Absolutely beautiful water here. In this part of the Bahamas. And we did a stingray encounter excursion. So yeah, here's Viperstrike in it with the stingray. So there's Viper with a stingray, and me holding the stingray with my family, my dad. Thankfully, the barbs on the stingray's tail thankfully have been removed, so I don't have to worry about being stung by a stingray. And trust me, you don't want to get hurt by a stingray. Just ask Steve Irwin. Don't mess with a stingray. Yeah, very, very cool. And there's also a conch shell too. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. And that's pretty absolutely gorgeous here. Yeah, these are all the different Ks as well. It's pretty. Like I said, it may be flat, but I mean, you're about the. We're gonna make our way now to Marsh Harbor. That would be our next stop. But after that, the next leg is going to be significantly farther. It would be by far the longest leg of the stream. Marsh Harbor is going to be where we're going to end up next on this one. So we're going to make our way here pretty shortly. We're cruising around 150 knots. You can take anywhere between 140 and 160 knots for this flight. We're going to make So yeah, we'll be doing these around the world trips twice a week on Fridays and Sundays. We'll be mainly flying general aviation on this journey, but there will be plenty of legs. We will be taking the airliners, which will be day 5 actually. Day 4 is going to be where we're going to take the airliner for the first time. Checking out Key West and Havana, so should be a lot of fun. So we're gonna head on to Marsh Harbor, which is gonna be pretty short. I'll be right back in just a little bit. I'm gonna take a bit of a break. I'll be right back in just a second. So we'll be right back. Okay, guys, I'm back. So we're gonna check out Marsh Harbor next. Here it is. The little community of Marsh Harbor is where we're gonna be checking out next. Marsh Harbor is located in the Abaco Islands here in the Bahamas. Population of 6,283 as of 2012. It lies off the Great Abaco Highway, which runs through much of the town. Marsh Harbor hosts a lot of services here in the island chains, including a post office, bookstore, grocery store, specialty shops, and more. Marsh Harbor was severely damaged by Category 5 Hurricane Dorian in 2019. There's also lots of pristine mangrove habitat and open shallows that have a rich amount of wildlife and fisheries. Those areas are quite important for the local area. And of course, this area is served by its own airport, Marsh Harbor Airport. It has its own airport here, which is Leonard M. Thompson Airport or Marsh Harbor International. It serves the town and the islands. It's a major tourist attraction. It offers scheduled passenger flights to Nassau and several destinations in Florida, as well as regional jet flights to Atlanta, Charlotte, and Miami. The runway is about 6,100 feet, so it hosts a lot of jet travel. It was named in 2016 after Leonard M. Thompson, who is a prominent son of Hopetown, Bahamas, who flew bombers for the Royal Canadian Air Force during World War II. However, one of the most sad accidents happened in 2001 when American singer-actress Alaya Dana Houghton and 8 crew members of the group that had participated in the filming of her music video, Rock the Boat, were killed soon after the plane took off the airport due to the plane being overloaded by 700 pounds, and she, along others, died. Yeah. And they crashed a Cessna 402 here at the airport. So that is something to keep an eye on. And for guys that, if you guys want some information about her, she was an American singer and actress. She helped redefine contemporary rhythm and blues, pop, and hip hop. Earned her the nicknames Princess of R&B and Queen of Urban Pop. Born in Brooklyn and raised in Detroit. She worked on a couple of records, and she was quite successful for her time. But unfortunately, she passed away at only 22 years old. Died way, way too young. I mean, she was, and despite though, she still had a lot of commercial success even after her death. So. Yeah, imagine she didn't die that early. She could have had even greater success if she didn't die so early. Yeah. So. Yeah, that's a little bit about Marsh Harbor. Hey, good to see you. Filthy. If you do plane, I am in the Piper Turbo Arrow 3 from Just Flight. The Justified Turbo Arrow 3. Very, very nice plane I got there, Filthy. I got it from the bundle, which is the arrow bundle with the turbo arrow and stuff. I got it in the bundle. But yeah, I really like the arrows a lot. I'm going to fly the arrow this week. Today we're going to be flying the arrow 3, and then on next week we'll be flying the Piper Comanche on Sunday. So we're going to fly the Comanche on Sunday. So, should be a lot of fun. Should be a really nice flying, for sure. Also, both these lasers are going to be around the same distance. But this area is so pretty, though, I promise. Here's the town of Marsh Harbor in front of us. Here is Marsh Harbor. There is Marsh Harbor. Here's the town, and around this area is a lot of reefs. There's a lot of reefs where you can find lots of sea life. So definitely a really, really nice place to check out. If you're a fan of a lot of ocean stuff. This called the Mud. And go ahead and reduce decibels. negative 143. This here is Marsh Harbor Airport. Yeah, it's a pretty decently sized airport. Yeah, imagine doing some of these being on your short-haul airline route to the Bahamas. Pretty scenic little airport. This here is Marsh Harbor Airport. Definitely got a lot of forest in here to fly over. Definitely one of the more scenic areas here in the city. So we're here in Marsh Harbor for the second stop of this stream. So this is Marsh Harbor. You guys are more than welcome to join on with us. If you want to join, we're in the Southeast Asia server. Our airport is Mike Yankee Alpha Mike at Marsh Harbor. We're going to be preparing for the final leg for today. We're going to be flying over to Rock Sound, which is going to be around our leg. It is going to be a 120 nautical mile leg, which is going to be a long flight. It's going to be about an hour long leg. So if you guys want to join on in, just take something that can go around 160 knots, 160, 165 knots, or something that can at least keep up with that speed. So we're going to take off here. Our heading is going to be 202. So let's go ahead and get her taken off. Oh, I see someone's joining with us. Hey, Greg Room is with us in an Icon A5. I don't think the A5 can keep up with this thing, sadly, Greg. The A5 is certainly not going to keep up with this thing. Unless you got the Turbo Performance mod, then maybe you might actually get to catch up with us. So let's go ahead and take off. Flaps. We're going to go up. I have to get something to lock quicker. I'm going to have to get something to look quicker. Yeah. Good to see you, Greg. Hope you're doing well. We're gonna go ahead. And I'm gonna circle around for a bit. Yeah, you can take a fighter jet if you want to. I mean, a caravan would be good. Like the caravan would be fine for this one. The Bonanza would be great. Bonanza could catch up to this no problem. A B-58 Baron. That's just the default planes, or the DA-62. Okay, no worries. Okay, yeah, that's just default, or DC-3, but yeah, there's a lot of points that can get to 150 pretty easily that can keep up with this thing. Oh, nice. No worries. But yeah, great to see you, Greg. But yeah, these are group flights. All of these legs of our around the world trip, they are group flights. So you guys are more than welcome to fly along whenever you want to. Oh, the Twin Otter, good one. Yeah, the Twin Otter, that's a good choice. That plane is made for the Caribbean. For the Caribbean, that's for the Caribbean is what you call it. Either Caribbean or Caribbean. That plane's perfect for it. Perfect plane for it. But yeah, it is good to see you too, Greg. Um, I'm very happy to do this around the world trip. We got plenty. I got plenty of notes. I've done for the Caribbean, for the Bahamas and such. We're gonna get to 4,000 feet. This one. I'm gonna be watching this. But that thing reached forward. Perfect. Okay. 4,000 feet. That's. Hey, what's the airport code? The airport code for this one is MYAN. That's Marsh Harbor. The one we're heading to on our route, is Mike Yankee Echo Romeo. This is Rock Sound Airport. That's where we're going to be heading to today. So we took off all the way back from Palm Beach in Florida. So we took off from Palm Beach, Florida. We make our way over to Freeport in Grand Bahama International. Oh yeah, and here's the best news about this entire area we're going to be visiting first. Well, this area is going to get a whole new world update in 2024, which I am super excited for because I spent a lot of time in real life in the Caribbean, so I can't wait to do more stuff around here. And I asked Murph, can we at least have a Caribbean hub? Because that's the one area in the Americas we don't really have anything for. We already have the United States twice. We already have 2 South America hubs. We just need something for the Caribbean or Central America. But I would pick Caribbean just because there's a ton of really cool island airports. Like Princess Juliana, San Juan, St. Kitts, Dominica, Martinique. Like, they got a lot of these islands have some really cool airports with some scenic approaches. It'd be really awesome. Hey, Makasi, good to see ya, my dude. I hope you're doing well. Oh, later this month, oh, I can't wait for the Caribbean World Update. Oh, that's gonna be. Well, good news is the Caribbean's gonna be the first area we're gonna visit on our journey. So we got our schedule for the world tour. It's also on my Discord, so we'll be keeping track of what days we're gonna have it. So after Sunday, we won't be back with the world journey until January 19th, next in 2 weeks. And then we'll enter Cuba on the 21st. Then January 26th, we'll enter in and finish up the rest of Cuba. And afterwards, we'll be checking out Jamaica, which we're going to do a hybrid stream. We're going to fly from Baracoa to Montego Bay with the ETR, and then we're going to be doing a general aviation trip through the entirety of the island. So we'll do Montego Bay, we'll head west before heading back to the center, head back north, go across the Blue Mountains, and make our way to Kingston. But yeah, we're going to turn over the entire island. So I think that would be really exciting to do. But yeah, we're going to do a variety of planes. We're going to fly nearly everything. So that way we can explore these areas quickly, but still get things in depth. So yeah, I'm gonna before we get on to the notes, I gotta do something really quick. Sorry about that. Hey, good to see you. Are you on course? Yep, we were on course. Yep, it's part of the flight plan. So, yeah, we're definitely on course, Greg. So here's what this flight plan looks like. So we're gonna turn right here soon. And make our way down through this little island chain. So we're gonna jump into this island chain and explore all this. So that's what we're gonna be doing. Yeah, we're on course. Yeah, we're on course. We're just taking a scenic route. We're taking a scenic route about the islands. Yeah, we're taking a scenic. We're taking the scenic route. We're on course. We're gonna be taking the scenic route. We'll be turning left right now, heading 145 degrees. 145. Yeah, this is Abco National Park. Here. And Mikasi's in the MB339. Nice. Awesome to see you in the MB339. And we have Greg in the DHC6 Twin Otter. Yeah, great to have you guys flying along with me today. That's awesome. Awesome seeing you guys here. Like I said, every one of these group flights, every one of these legs is going to be a group flight. Because, like I said, I want people involved in this one. So, definitely very, very cool. I've been in the Bahamas. It's definitely beautiful. The beaches and the water in the Bahamas are absolutely stunning. Really, really nice. And we do actually have a company route to the Bahamas for Firefly Air, which is from Pittsburgh to Nassau. Definitely do like flying the routes. So we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit more about the Bahamas here. Let's talk about transportation in the Bahamas. Let's talk about transportation. In the Bahamas, there's about 1,000 kilometer miles of paved road, but mainly transportation between the islands mainly rely around ship and air. The country has around 61 airports. Chief is Lynn Pindling in Nassau, Grand Bahama International in Grand Bahama, and of course the one we visited, Marsh Harbor Airport, are the main parts here in the Bahamas. Do keep that in mind. So, oh yeah, and I forgot. I missed a slide too. which is the economy of the Bahamas. Now, this is interesting about the Bahamas. In terms of GDP per capita, it's one of the richest countries in the Americas. And in terms of ratio, it's kept 1-to-1 with the US dollar. The Bahamas relies heavily on tourism, and it accounts for 70% of the GDP here in the Bahamas, and half of the country's workforce works in tourism. In 2012, the Bahamas attracted nearly 5.8 million visitors, which nearly 70% come from cruises, from the cruise lines. And I kid you not, there are so many cruise line stuff in the Bahamas. They, like, for example, Carnival, which is the largest cruise line in the world, is Carnival. And they sail a lot to the Bahamas. In fact, according to the website, they actually sail to here from many different ports. Well, from far north as Manhattan, New York, and Baltimore, to as far to, and of course, it also got ports like Tampa, Mobile, Jacksonville, in Charleston. But the most popular ports for a lot of people to go to the Bahamas, Miami and Orlando, the two busiest, and they got tons of Bahamas stuff. They sail to the Bahamas a lot. And for some of these, you get these for pretty cheap. For example, if you want to spend, you can actually spend around, let's see. If you want to go for the duration. So you could take a 4-day trip out of Orlando, Port Canaveral, to the Bahamas. If you want to do that, I mean, per room is for interior is going to be $234. So you can literally take a 4-day vacation for just $234 per person for 4 days, and you get to go to Nassau and Celebration Key, which is Carnival's new thing. But yeah, you could do now obviously it would depend on which port you're going to go to. But yeah, you can go to the Bahamas, and which is pretty cool. For about a couple days, you get to visit me. Outside of that, though, after tourism is offshore finances, which accounts for 15%. And in fact, according to the Panama Papers that were published in 2016, the Bahamas is the jurisdiction with the most offshore entities or companies in the world. Thanks to its competitive tax regime, which some classify as a tax haven, where the government derives its revenue from import tax, VAT, license fees, and more, but there's no income, corporate, or capital gains tax, or even a wealth tax. Then the third largest sector, which is about 5 to 7%, is agriculture, with crops such as onions, okra, tomatoes, oranges, grapefruit, cucumbers, sugarcane, lemon and limes, and sweet potatoes. And there's a lot of biocapacity in the Bahamas, too. So yeah, the Bahamas economy definitely a big deal, and tourism is the biggest deal in the Bahamas. It so the Bahamas are a big part of tourism. So pretty big stuff about the economy of the Bahamas. So yeah, that is about the Bahamas. Man, that's amazing flying, Mikaze. Definitely, I'm definitely grabbing a screenshot of this. Awesome formation flying, Makazi. That's awesome, my dude. Love that. Ah, Greg's in the E50. Ah, cool. Oh, what point is that one, Greg? The E50. I mean, it's not the Phenom, is it? I don't think Coxper's released their Phenom yet. Okay, guys, so the island we're going to be checking up next is the island of Eleuthera, which is the single island in the archipelago, and they form part of the Great Bahama Bank. This is where the British first settled, was in this part of the island. So, this is Eleuthera. This area was settled in 1648 from colonists from Bermuda under Captain William Sale. A lot of this island was damaged by Hurricane Andrew, which was a Category 5 hurricane. And in 2019, Disney Cruise Line actually purchased Lighthouse Point, which is on the island. And they're going to make it a development for the Disney Cruise Lines for a national park. And it's going to be open this year on June 6th. So, which is going to be at the very south of the island. Yeah, absolutely stunning. Man, this is pretty. Absolutely beautiful scenery, guys. Water here is amazing. Just look at that. Let's flip back to this. See all that light blue color? That's from the reefs and stuff. Just the water, man. Oh yeah, and this is gonna be even better when the Caribbean World Update comes out. They said they're gonna redo the whole thing. Man, this is gonna be some amazing flying. Because honestly, I can't wait to do more of the Caribbean. Like I said, I really like to see this as a hub sometime. My hope is Sangster International becomes the hub because A, it's going to be a newly handcrafted airport for Microsoft, so it's going to be a new MSFS handcrafted airport. 2, Jamaica is a really great area to visit. The culture in Jamaica is extremely rich and colorful, and its location would be nice. It wouldn't just be in the Caribbean; it would also be not far from Central America, so we can easily do flights north. It would be a perfect meeting point between North and South America, which would be really needed for our virtual airline. Oh yeah, look at the water. Wow, that's cool. Oh, that's an amazing screen. I'm definitely. That is gorgeous, guys. Oh, that is just gorgeous. Look at the images, man. That is. Look at the state of this. Just incredible. That's just... See, this sim, yeah, this sim still surprised me. Like I said, I like flying in the Bahamas. Okay, terrain-wise, it may not be the most interesting, but the Bahamas has such beautiful water. I'd like to see the Caribbean be next. Yeah, the rubber banding. Yeah, rubber banding's an issue. I can definitely tell you, you're rubber banding all over the place. No worries. Yes, Sobo needs fixing. Yeah. So yeah, this is Eleuthera Airport to our left. That is North Eleuthera Airport. Mike Echo Hotel. There's Eleuthera Airport. I mean, this would be a nice place to do some regional flying, like for the ATR. This would be a great area to do the ATR. It would be really, really cool. And North Eleuthera is around 6,000 feet. It serves destinations across the Bahamas, but also several international flights to Florida, like Fort Lauderdale, Orlando, Charlotte, Miami, and Atlanta. So that means you can fly the airliner stuff to the Bahamas. And this area is just so nice. What a nice area to fly. Very much so. So, if we don't get to talk about all the Bahamas today, I'm actually not going to talk about all the sides of the Bahamas today because, well, simply put, I want to save them for on Sunday. So instead of talking about slides, I want to talk about the weekend for you guys. So I hope you guys have had a great weekend. I hope you guys have such a fantastic weekend. So there are a couple things I do want to mention for sports and stuff. So it turned out for Major League Baseball, for MLB, there has been some pretty big news for baseball. So, one of the most interesting news was, well, Wander Franco got arrested. And I'm just glad it's over. They finally got him arrested. But if you guys didn't know what happened with Wander Franco, well, let me just say that. He actually in the Dominican Republic he had a supposed alleged relationship with a minor. And apparently he actually was arrested for it. And a lot of the news, and they found a lot more cases with him and apparently the girl's mother with hush money and all that. And it implicates him in his relationship with minors, and that was a very messy situation. So hopefully the Rays could void the contract, because I don't think he's going to be playing baseball for the Rays anytime soon. Which absolutely sucks in every way. Like, the one time the Tampa Bay Rays pay a player a lot of money, it ends up like that. Why are the Rays cursed? Why? My God. That's not. And then in terms of other sports news for the NFL, this week. So for the National Football League, I mean, this week's gonna be tomorrow night, Friday, Saturday Night Football, which is tomorrow. At 4:30 is gonna be the Steelers Ravens, so this should be interesting. The Colts play the Texans tomorrow as well. Hopefully the Colts get a big win over Houston. That would be a nice thing to end the year with, a nice win over Houston. Hoping the Jaguars fall, which might help us get into the playoffs. If Jacksonville loses and Indy wins, if we win and the Jaguars lose, we get to the playoffs, which would be insane considering there's no Anthony Richardson, and yet we still make the playoffs. Woohoo for the Colts! That would be huge. That would be a huge playoff spot. That would be huge. I'm really hoping we win and make the playoffs. The alternative would be if I don't know how many wildcard teams there is. Let's look at the playoff picture. So, let's look. So yeah, there are 3 playoff spots. So yeah, the Colts still have a chance to make the playoffs, but it would be best if we win. We will definitely make the playoffs. If Jacksonville loses and we win, we get the division title. So I'm really hoping we do. But I mean, the Steelers are also in the hunt, so are the Texans in the AFC. So I mean, the AFC is wide open, but the Bucs and Packers are likely to make the playoffs as well. So definitely interesting. That's according to the NFL. But yeah, I'm hoping the Colts win tomorrow. If the Colts win, we make the playoffs, which I would be really happy for. Just one season. I mean, what would be an amazing season. I mean, to think that the Colts didn't really have much of a chance without Anthony Richardson, their first round quarterback, and they still make the playoffs with Gardner Minshew. What a funny irony for that one. What a funny irony. Yeah, I can't wait to see what the Colts do. But yeah, this season has all been about Lamar Jackson. I think Lamar Jackson's been MVP. Um, but yeah, Lamar Jackson's going to probably win his second MVP this season. Lamar Jackson has been unbelievable this. And I knew how good he was at Louisville because if you guys don't know, I'm a University of Louisville football fan. I cheer for all Louisville sports. He's been unbelievable this season. Lamar, amazing season. I mean, he's thrown for 24 touchdowns, 7 interceptions in the passing game, and he also has ran for 821 yards with 5 touchdowns as well. I mean, he's been unbelievable this season. Lamar should definitely be the MVP frontrunner. He's had an amazing season. He's been absolutely amazing. 67% passing completion. I mean, he's already won an MVP in 2019, but now he's going to probably get another MVP this season. Yeah, I'm hoping Lamar can help give them a Super Bowl. I would be happy if Lamar can win a championship. That would make me really happy. So finally, in other sports, I'm going to talk about the NBA. Well, I got good news. The Pistons don't stink anymore. The Pistons actually won. They didn't go beyond 20 losses, and then they just lost 2 more games in a row. Yeah, the Pistons still suck. I bet a team of Irish Egypts could probably get more wins than they do. I'm going to go ahead and descend. Turn off altitude hold. And we're going to descend 5. We're going to descend across here. So a bit more about you. We just passed Governor Harbor Airport, and then some more interesting thing about Eleuthera is that there have historically been a few military bases, including the NAVFAC Eleuthera that was built in the 1950s and 60s. It was decommissioned in 1980. And then finally for the NBA, and then of course the best team is the Celtics. They've been absolutely incredible this season. They look like to actually get a chance to win the championship. And then in the Western Conference for the NBA, the Timberwolves and Thunder are the top 2, but I still think the Nuggets are still the favorite to win the championship again. And the Spurs are the worst team in the West, but I mean, pitching Wembanyama is still really good. Let's just hope Wembanyama stays healthy. He could be really good. definitely really, I really do enjoy this flight. This is an absolutely awesome. Just beautiful. This area really is something. Just stunning. This whole scenery is just incredible. Like I get it, the Bahamas aren't hilly, but the scenery here is out of this world. It's really, I can't, like I said, this world update is gonna make this possibly even better. Which means I can't wait to do more flying out of the Caribbean. It's gonna be so. But yeah, our final stop of the day is Rock Sound, which not this is Rock Sound Airport. This is our final stop for today. Rock Sound definitely is represent the Forward District. This airport is located in the south of the Eleuthera District. It currently serves domestic flights to Georgetown, Governor Harbor, Nassau, and San Salvador. Rock Sound was served by Pan Am during the mid 60s with the 707 727 planes to Miami in New York. It's one of the few in the Bahamas to have received mainland jet service. And during the late 70s, there are also flights with the 737 with Air Florida. And one of the weirder things happened around this airport, and definitely one of the most fascinating things about it, was in 2001 for a brief period, LATA Air Italy actually flew weekly charters to Milan from this airport during 2001. So yeah, that is pretty crazy to think about it. They do charter flights to really, really cool. I definitely need to put slides for Bahamas Air on here. I want to also talk about each of the airlines as well. Sometimes each. So I guess for transport, I need to bring it about Bahama Air. Yeah, I'm gonna need to put that on the slide. To talk about Bahamas Air, I want to talk about their airline and their history too. Because I do want to talk about the airlines and stuff they used to operate here. So I'll get that written down too. Let's go back. Well, guys, we're about to reach Rock Sound, so let's do one last lane prediction for today. Estimation point predict. Let's type in one last prediction. So, guys, thank you all so much for joining me today. D2 has been really nice. We got to explore parts of the first country we're going to check out, foreign country we visit on this journey, which is the Bahamas. So, part two will complete the rest of the most of the other parts of the nation, which would be we'll be checking out Exuma. Then we'll make our way to Andros Island, the largest island in the Bahamas in terms of land area. We'll check out all the stuff there, and then of course, Nassau. We'll be turn around the city a bit, and I'll be showing you plenty of pictures during my time at Nassau as well. So I'll be showing you guys some stuff. guys, our third and final landing of the day. Oh. This is Rocksound International. A little rougher, but it's not a bad landing. Find somewhere to park. Nice one, Makazi. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Oh, what happened? Did something happen to the battery? Oh, I still tight. What? That was weird. I wonder what happened there. Oh. There we go. So guys, that concludes day 2 of our around the world trip. Welcome to the Bahamas, everyone. Welcome to Rocksound International. So guys, this was an awesome trip. And it's great that we finally got to visit the first foreign country off the board. We're going to be checking out the rest of the Bahamas on Sunday. We'll be making our way through Exuma, Andros Island, and Nassau. So this should be a lot of fun. I can't wait to do much more. So guys, we're going to go ahead and say hello to MSFS Official. We'll be back Sunday back here at 1500 Zulu. And we'll finish up the rest of the Bahamas in the Piper Comanche. So take care, everyone, and have a great rest of your day, and have a great start to your weekend. Bye.